Welcome to the Aftercast.
I hate you so much.
What? It's a new mic. I gotta show off, right?
This is the
Let's see what it can
Aftercast, the show after the show where we sit around and talk about. Thank you for interrupting my introduction. It's terrible. I want to first point out a new member of the team. We have Mr. Prickles up here. You see him?
Mr. Pricks.
Yep. He had a flower on top of his head that was super glued on. It wasn't even like I thought it was a flowering plant.
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then when I was trying to put it in the windowsill to get some of those sun rays, that it needs, I knocked the blind off and it came crashing down and knocked the flower off of the top of Mr. Prickles.
Wow.
And it was super glued on there.
Is it confirmed that he's a real cactus yet?
I think so, but I don't want to cut into him to find out.
Okay,
I guess we'll know in a few weeks when he dies.
Yeah.
If he's real or not.
Yeah.
So we talked about video games today, and we kind of jumped into different games that we played. I wanted to hear some more.
Yeah, we did a lot more of that
experience.
than I thought we would, honestly.
Yeah, but I want some more, man. Give me some more horror
Okay,
stories of
more
your
horror stories?
gaming. Yeah,
I mean,
put you on the spot right
it's
now.
just like a whirlwind of autism and Ritalin. Where to even start? I mean,
Start somewhere. Just pick one.
I mean, some of them, it's hard to pick ones that you could understand without some background knowledge.
Right.
To like really understand the level of depravity.
Well, if we want to
going
go
on here.
D&D, right? I know that one time I misread the story, and it said Sallyport, right? And it was talking about a side of the wall of the castle or the keep or whatever that was supposed to be defended. But I just read port, so I thought it was like a harbor. So I made up this whole side section of the story to match with what I had made a mistake. Yeah.
Isn't improv great?
It's so good. So I said, yeah, we got to go save this port. And then I was reading it, and I was like, oh, crap. I messed up. I was like, well, it's too late. Too late now. It's canon now. And so I just transferred all the enemies or whatever to fight at the harbor. And I said the ships were on fire and stuff. I don't know. I made it all up. It worked, though, to a degree.
Okay, I think I thought of one. This is a great game if you somehow have enough friends to play it. Left 4 Dead. Wow.
Yeah.
It can bring people together and tear them apart. Tear them apart.
It's like Monopoly in that way.
Yeah. The issue with the game is whenever a zombie grabs you, you can't move unless one of your teammates helps you. You're completely at their mercy. So, but
First mistake.
What we used to do was. This was before the game even came out. We would do this on the demo. The demo had a versus, so I'd get me and my 4 friends together, and we had this program that would let you play music through your microphone.
Nice.
So we'd spam "Party Hard" over the mic while we just ran through the level, annihilating people and yelling at them.
That's terrible, dude. Terrible.
Yeah. It was a good time, though. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Back when I was 15.
I just, like, the trolls are bad.
Oh, yeah.
They're just terrible.
Yeah.
And then getting called a scrub because you make a mistake.
Well, if you are a scrub, I mean...
I kind of was. Like, I kind of am in almost... I haven't found a game that I'm, like, really good at.
I can teach you how to be good.
You can teach me?
I can teach you.
You can teach me. I started playing For Honor recently. It just came out. And Ubisoft's kind of right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's pretty good. The concept is cool. The gameplay is cool. And I finally found a character that I can play.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's this, I think it's called the Noboshi or something. It's a samurai.
Is that the one with the giant sword?
Yeah, the giant spear sword thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So she, like, all she does is stand back and like,
poke.
hit you for bleeding damage over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's so great because I can't win if it comes to, like, actual skill.
Right.
But I can run away all day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that game's really interesting. I think I've talked to Zach about this a little before. It's kind of like a fighting game in a lot of ways, and I think as a new player to that genre, the biggest thing is that they are just so arcane and hard to understand. It's so hard to teach someone how to play them.
Yeah. Because
so much of it just isn't intuitive.
No, it is not at all. Like, it gives a basic tutorial of how your stance affects you, and that's it. Like, it has no character. Like, this is what.
Okay, I've played a couple of fighting games. I'm not good. I'm absolute trash, honestly. But I've done a lot of reading on the concepts. I tried to play for a while. with my friends.
You go on the next level when you like look it up online.
Yeah,
and say,
yeah, yeah.
I've got to
So,
get better at this.
Like my friends, the game we got into, we were playing Street Fighter 4, right?
Nice.
And the thing with fighting games, and I'm sure For Honor is like this too, is the first level is you have no idea what's going on.
No, zero.
The second level is you kind of know what you want to do, but your hands, you just manually, the dexterity, you can't do what you want to do as
because
fast as
it's
you
new.
want.
It's like
Right.
learning any skill. with
Yeah,
your
it's just
hands.
too hard.
Yeah.
Then eventually you get to the point where everything's automatic, and that's the point where like the actual mind games come into play, where you're actually playing the game and not just
Right.
learning how to play.
Right.
So for
But
us, it was we would go over to my friend's house and we'd all play. The first week straight, we got absolutely dominated by a strategy we called the Chris combo. Now, all you do, and this will destroy people who are brand new to fighting games like Mortal Kombat. Maybe not Mortal Kombat as much because it's a little easier to block in that game. But if you play a Street Fighter or something like that, you're gonna obliterate newbies. You jump, you kick, you land, you crouch, and you sweep. Just the same kick button.
So you would do that the whole match?
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
hate you.
and if you
so
can't,
much.
if you don't have the dexterity to stand block and then crouch block, you just get knocked down over and over. And every time you get knocked down, they get the same setup and they can do it on you again, over and over.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So now a game like For Honor, like, do you have any idea of the concept? Have you heard of any of these things before? I'm gonna list off a couple of times.
Okay.
You heard of any of them?
All right, probably not, but go ahead.
Frame advantage, block stun.
I've heard of block stun.
Yeah.
And I think I know what frame advantage
Okay.
is.
So let's just go ahead and give a rundown of how to play fighting
Please.
games really
so
quick.
so when I just lied and said I knew what he was talking about, I'm validated.
Okay. Fighting games work on rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
Once you can
This
actually
beats
control
that.
the game.
This
Yeah.
beats that.
Right. You have rock, paper, and scissors, which are basically block, throw, and attack.
Yeah.
So blocking beats attacking.
Right.
Attacking beats throws, generally. Slows their throw, their attacks. And throws beat blocks.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is, given the situation that your opponent's in, the character they're playing, their play style, what do you think they're going to do? I think he's going to block, like
So
a
then
little
you
chump.
play whatever.
So then,
yeah.
whatever
Okay.
counters them, right. So it gets more complicated when you throw in things like combos, like what different characters are capable of, as
Right.
far as like maybe a character like the one you like to play is kind of like a more pokey range character,
Yeah.
where it's very important for you to be at your optimal range, where you
Right.
can poke with
They
that
can't
move that
hit me,
bleeds,
but I
right?
can
But
hit
they
them.
can't get in. Your character probably does not have very many fast short range attacks.
No, not really.
They probably don't have very good combos. These are like archetypical characters you see across all fighting games. In Street Fighter, there's a character called Dalsum. He's a brown Indian man who breathes fire. Yoga fire. You probably heard of that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he
I
has
think so.
stretchy limbs. So his thing is he wants to keep you full screen distance away and just poke at you with punches and kicks without letting you get close, because he actually is really frail.
That's
if you
the
get up in
same-
his face, then
yeah,
he...
it's just if you let like a berserker is a character who is very close range, only
Mhm.
operates close range, and if they get close to you and you're backed against the wall, you're done. That's
right.
it.
Yeah. So one of the biggest advantages you have in a 3D game, like For Honor, this applies to like Dark Souls multiplayer, which I don't think anybody plays, but in a 3D game, you have a lot more freedom as to your movement, which helps out those characters a lot.
Mm.
You'll have more room to back up, to control your spacing, which is
Right.
really important with that
Yeah.
type of character. In Street Fighter,
You have the
if you're
screen.
Dalsum, right? Once you hit to the corner, that's when
That's it.
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So for someone who wants to play a character like that, that's focused on like what they call in fighting game terminology would be footsies, which is like typically you like a lot of your longest range poking attacks, like your spear attack would be like crouching kicks. So
okay.
what you're doing is you're like trying to move back and forth in a way that will either allow you to be in your optimal range, where your good spear attack will hit them, and their like sword or axe strike won't hit you. And if they're any farther away, they're completely ineffective. So you want to try and stay in that ideal range.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And what a good player will do, like a bad player who's playing a more close range character against you, might just get totally zoned out. Every time he tries to get close to you, he just gets poked.
And it's frustrating, yeah.
And it's frustrating. So what a good player will do is try and bait you into attacking and dodge at the same time.
Right.
In Street Fighter, you might like try and get Ryu, for example, to throw a fireball while you jump over it. And you can, a lot of times people, they know that what their optimal range is. Zach knows where he can hit you with his spear. So when you get in that range, he's going to press the spear button. and you can take advantage of that fact.
Because I will do
That's
that,
Zach throwing rock,
Yeah.
and all you have to do is figure out what paper is for you,
right? Yeah,
in
that
order
makes
to
sense.
take advantage of it.
And that's absolutely true. I think because even playing the game, normally if the opponent hasn't played against the character before, I've noticed this. I play a lot of team deathmatch 4v4, and you fight one-on-one when you start. And so what I've noticed is first they'll just run straight at me like full out because they don't know what. So I'll dodge their first throw or whatever they're gonna do because they're overzealous, and I'll hit them with a couple of bleed attacks. Normally I'll win the first match, unless I just get somebody who knows the character or who's really really good, that happens a lot. But normally I win the first match.
Yeah.
But then the second time it comes around, you don't always play the same character you played the first time, but you can. They automatically just stand there. And they're like, all right, like you come to me.
Oh, like a rematch, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like
okay.
so if the round is over and you re-up, it doesn't mean you're gonna be the same character, but it could be. They'll just stand there like, no, I'm not doing this again. Like I'm not charging you because I know what you're gonna do.
Right.
Because the character has this great step back and throw ability.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
cool.
so.
That sounds like
good.
exactly what that kind of character wants.
Yeah, yeah, and it increases the throw distance of the spear, which is already higher than a normal weapon anyway. And so as soon as they get close, you step back and you push forward. And so that's what I'm learning to get the combos. Like you said, they do suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
She doesn't have great combos, but it's I could tell that people get aggravated very easily, and that's fun.
Yeah, and that's a good character to start with. A lot of people would say that a character like that focuses more on
defense
on
and,
spacing,
spacing
in particular, is a more fundamental character that'll translate better to other games.
Right. Yeah. And it's
because
fun.
they are skills that translate.
Yeah. Yeah. And as you were talking about all the Street Fighter things and fighter games.
Yeah,
I was
you can see the
that's how that works.
comparison.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, if you're that other person playing against you, and this guy is just running back,
right?
I mean, what do you do?
Well, usually, because it's 4v4, he's gonna run into somebody, so I absolutely chase.
Yeah.
I've had a couple times where that's turned around and bit me because it's semi-open. Like the map is like a map you would play on Call of Duty or something, and so it's bigger, and so a lot of times they'll run up a ladder or something and wait.
Yeah.
For me to come up with that. And so it's not
that
a
lame stuff.
Yeah, it's not a one-shot kill or anything.
Right.
And usually I can come back, but I've noticed that a lot. But then you have the peacekeeper. It's like assassin, right? They don't have a guard stance. They have to physically block with because guard stance works in a way that you have a passive guard stance where wherever you put your little cursor is where you're gonna block. So you can sit on the right side.
So if you don't have a stance, you have to time every block.
You have to hit every block. So that's why that character is really hard to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of low damage, very fast attacks. So if she gets you once, she's probably gonna hit you 4 more times.
Right.
But those characters do a lot of running away because they're really fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in 4v4, they'll just run and go support another team member and kind of let the big guy take brunt of the
while they sort of
while they
kind
of run around and do that.
That's smart. That's really cool that they that like kind of asymmetrical character design lets you have all these characters that kind of like play off each other like that. That's pretty cool.
And I think that's where the game shines the most is 4v4 or Brawl. I think it is where it's 2v2. One-on-one is fun, but at the same time, like I like having other people to rely on and that help me because there's nothing better than and I've seen this really cool thing happen to me the other day. Is one of my teammates walked up and saw that we were really close and stood there and watched.
The honor duel?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that was really,
like
really
the soft
cool.
kind of rules you're talking about
Yeah. It's like he could tell that he wasn't beating the ever-living crap out of me, and I wasn't doing the same to him. It was very, very close. And so he said, no, I'm going to stand here. And if I ended up winning, but if I was really close to death or something, maybe he would have jumped in and helped me at the end. But he was letting me say, no, I mean, I got this.
Talking
It was
about
cool.
Stories and video games.
Yeah, that's cool,
there
man.
You go. That's pretty cool.
It's one of those rules that just unspoken. Like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna let them finish what they started because this is them, and I don't want to. I want to win the match. He's already probably so. Honestly, if he'd have killed me, he probably would have had no problem killing him because he got to run around, get buffs, and get health. So he's probably fine. So he was letting this resolve just so he wouldn't be, the dick.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
And I would really like to explore some more of those in-depth, like, multiplayer game soft rules that just kind of happen.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's really cool.
some of them I think come from like a whiny place, but when something like that where it's not based in someone just complaining about something, that is interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And since, the game For Honor,
Yeah.
it's like an honorable thing just to sit there and say, no, I'm gonna let you guys figure this out, and then I'll take if I did end up winning, so then we went ahead. And usually that goes out the window when it's 3 like versus 1 or something where the game is about to be over. But I think it's a really cool dynamic. I know that Ubisoft got a lot of hate because they weren't showing enough attention to the server problems and things like that. They actually had a boycott, I think April the 3rd, like no one played it or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to get
Wow.
Ubisoft's attention. And it actually, I think it worked. I wasn't able to play that day anyway because I had other stuff to do. So I guess I kind of participated. But it's cool. And I think gaming culture is such a interesting thing to dive into, that you can have like semi-friendships over online that you don't really talk to anybody, but you just know like that guy, whoever that was, just like, oh yeah, props, man. That was a cool thing to do. Just let us figure that out.
Yep.
And it goes back to what we were talking about in the other episode.
It's weird too, because I come from kind of a different world where, like, a lot of the games I played, if you were to take the honorable stance, like that guy
was
did,
that was not the way to do
you would be massacred. Like, oh my!
So that was
God.
not a cool thing to do.
See, now that's the thing. It depends on the game. Like, some games are a little more laid back, some are a little more cutthroat.
Right.
In Counter-Strike, if you're not covering your teammate, and if you don't get the trade kill after he dies, that person's going to scream at you. And honestly, in Counter-Strike, you'd be justified in doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's what comes down to. It was like in For Honor, the 4-on-4, we are there to help each other, but at the same time, you spar off at the beginning with that person. And after that, it's whatever, right? So I think that soft rule that we talked about, him just kind of saying, this was your fight to begin with, you're very close, I'm not going to steal this kill from you.
It's just so cinematic. It just makes you
so
feel like
good,
you're
man.
in a movie.
I was just like, man, they stand there watching me. And then I poked him a couple of times, and I got to actually execute him, which is so cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Ooh,
when you hit him,
very
you
good.
hit him with a heavy attack, and you press square or triangle in PlayStation's case, and you do this really cool cinematic, like, expert move, and he can't be revived. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, if you just get killed by like a poke or a bleed, someone can come and revive you. But I got to execute him, and then that guy, he sent me a little quick chat thing, said good fight, and I was like, yeah,
Nice, dude.
thanks, man.
Very nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
living.
fun.
That's living the
That's
online dream
living
right there.
the online dream.
If only. Jesus.